guys, continuing my Dalat travel series. In today's video, I will show you some more of Dalat specialties, a couple of recommendations for Dalat cuisines, and what Dalat does best, mountain view cafes. Let's start off with my favorite cafe, In the Forest. That's the name of the cafe, In the Forest. And here's the entrance to it. Already feeling a rustic mountain vibe. I love how it's kind of a mix of Dalat and Japan. It's about 20 minutes on the motorbike from the city center. It's a garden cafe with heaps of beautiful corners.
And if you feel, you know what there's in store. Hold on tight. You are for some fun, and if you think you know what fate's in store.
It's really spacious with lots of tables. Here's a beautiful view.
It's never set in stone, and things go down with the magic of their own.
I love the tea here. We actually spent the whole morning here. It's really nice to just sit down and enjoy the company of nature.
So we hang onto holes, more things, trying to guess what tomorrow brings. But as it poured from Chicago, we used to say, oh, carpe diem, which means seize the day.
Next up, we went to Dalat Museum. They basically have everything relating to Dalat and Lâm province here. From the history, the showcase of ethnic minorities, the agricultural produces, etc. There's even an empress holiday home here. I will get to that later. Dalat is famous for its wine, its fresh fruits, vegetables and flowers. The history of Dalat dated back to the 1890s under the French colony. It was developed to become a summer capital for the French. Then, from the mid-1950s, Dalat was affected by the battles between the South Vietnamese and Viet Cong forces. Apart from that, you can also find some daily life activities of the original people here, along with their costumes, which are very different from group to group. If you saw my last video, you know about Emperor Bao Dai, the last emperor of Vietnam. This holiday home was owned by his wife, Empress Nam Phương. Of course, it's not as big as the King's Palace in the previous video. Also, I think it's not very well maintained and it looks like it needs a lot of love. For dinner tonight, we're going to have lẩu gà lá é, chicken hot pot with lemon basil, a very famous dish of Dalat. We ordered a pot for two. It came with rice noodles and lemon basil on the side. In the broth, there's chopped chicken, bamboo shoot and basil. We added some mushroom and stir-fried loofah to it. To add basil to the hot pot, we kind of had to pick the leaves and discard the stems as it's pretty tough. There were two types of dipping sauce on offer. This one I guess is a mixture of crushed salt and green chili. You can also make your own by adding dry salt, lamb and fresh chilies. Here's some bamboo. Free-range chicken is always so super delicious. Dalat at night is perfect for hot pot as the temperature drops down to 12 to 14 degrees. This is the smallest portion, which was only 200,000 Vietnam dong. We added some side dishes and it only cost us 280,000 in total for this meal, which was about 20 Australian dollars. Super cheap, but really fulfilling. We were super full after this meal. Morning day 4, we're back on the road again to get to the biggest freshwater lake in Dalat, Tuyen Lam Lake, which is about 15 kilometers from the city center. This lake was built in 1930s and has the charm of a natural lake. The whole lake area is about 350 hectares, with some areas 30 meters in depth. People often come here for kayaking or camping in the pine forest. There are also boat tours like the one we're on, which cost us 23 Australian dollars each. After our boat tour, we wanted to have a nice lunch up in the pine forest, but sadly the whole forest was closed for some constructions. Then we decided to visit this clay tunnel. If you like taking photos, you won't like this place, as it's what it's pretty much about. There are tourists posing everywhere and expect to wait in line if you want to take a photo. If you're looking for anything with cultural or historical values, I don't think this place for you, as it looks like it was built purely for commercial purposes. There are some pretty sculptures, but I won't say it's worth the trip or worth walking around in the afternoon sun. On the way back from Tuyen Lam Lake, we came across this cable car stop and decided to kill some time before dinner here. It turned out to be the most wonderful Dalat experience we had this trip. We got to see Dalat from above with its boutique charm on full display. Also, since it was towards the end of the day, everything was glowing in the late afternoon sun. The cable car trip was about 15 minutes each way. At the top of the mountain, you can spend some time to visit Treo Monastery, a beautiful and serene place with a very pleasant atmosphere. The buildings and gardens are incredibly crafted and well maintained. The cable car ticket was only 8 Australian dollars per person round trip. I think it was the best value for money we spent this trip. The service runs until 5 PM, so make sure to come back before 4:45. We found this restaurant with a really nice view for a BBQ dinner. The place looked clean and spacious. The prices were reasonable. We ordered gnocchi, beef rolls, sausages, chili shrimps, oysters in scallions and roasted peanuts. Yummy! They served some herbs and lettuce on the side and a couple of dipping sauce. We will grill the food ourselves. Here's green mango salad with beef jerky and prawn crackers, and this is chicken feet salad. The equipment is pretty simple. A charcoal grill, already prepared by the staff and ready to go. This is similar to a Japanese hibachi actually. And you have a grill rack like this with handle. It's a great setting for cool night, sitting by the warm grill and cook your own food. this salad. It looks so good and fresh. This smells awesome and tastes so good. We were having such a great time. Some food for my little Zoom. And oysters for me. Oh, look at that oil still bubbling. It smells incredible. I would highly recommend this restaurant. The food was great, the staff was super helpful and friendly, the prices were amazing. We only spent $12 each for this huge amazing dinner, and above all, this is the perfect setting for dinner in Dalat. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video today. My third and last video on my Dalat trip will be up next week, so stay tuned. See you then!